We're live, everybody. Thank you for being here. It is Friday. It's a beautiful day in my part of the world. Still working in the office, getting things done. It's been in the 50s today, a little chilly. Oh boy. So thank you for being here. If you're watching this on the recap, appreciate that. Of course, give us a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Welcome to Live with Pack. And that's the name of our live streams, Live with Pack. So we appreciate you guys all being here. Got a lot I'm doing in the office, so just come and join me today. We'll see if we can get some things done. Ah. Well, as you know, we've been working on the office this week, rearranging it, trying to get a little bit more of a studio vibe. So I've been busy over here, over there, a little bit everywhere. We thank you all for being here, man. Let me tell you, we got. How many we got in the chat already? We got like 7,000 people watching. Thank you for being here. Give us some thumbs up if you would. Let us know. Say hi. Don't be shy. Say hi. Don't be shy. Welcome to Live with Pack. I am the leader of the pack. There's only 3 of us in the pack, but we're still a pack. Philippine-American couple. I hope you guys are doing great tonight. So don't be shy. Ooh-wee. We got the house to ourselves tonight, besides our dog Lily. Lily and I are here. The wife is out enjoying her evening with a bunch of friends, so give us some thumbs up, if you would. Rupert is in the house. How are you, Rupert? Good to see you. What part of the world you from? I got you guys put up on the big screen, so it's easier for me to read your chats. I'm thinking of that. Why don't you guys come this way with me? Are you okay? Lily, can I get over here? No? What? All right. Come on. Oh, I'm not picking you up. My dog thinks I'm going to pick her up. But I really just need to get this part. Working on the house here. Working on my office. Trying to get things squared away. Trying to make the world a better place for you and me. There we go. There we go. Let's go over here real quick. Rupert saying hello. Well, appreciate that. We do indeed. Well, you guys lost me over here. Where'd you guys go? Come on. So much to do, you know how that is? Let's get caught up here. Honish's house, Green. How are you? We're doing good, man. We're staying busy. How are you? What I do, just so you guys don't, so you know, don't get offended, is I try to read the chat on the big screen versus the phone. So it's easier for me. So if I look here a lot, that's what I'm doing. Appreciate the thumbs up, everybody. If you're new to us, wouldn't hurt you if you don't mind subscribing to the channel. It's always good. What's wrong, Lily? I can't. I'm not picking you up. Here's my dog, Lily. But, no, I'm not holding you while I live stream. Jesus. That's one fat dog, let me tell you. Joe's in the house. How are you, Joe? Guess you're glad your girlfriend didn't come by the house. Yes, I'm always glad when that happens, Joe. So what have you been up to, Joe? How are you? I'm trying to rework my office a little bit, Joe. I'm trying to make a little bit more of a studio vibe. I got some chairs. I need help. Does anybody want to come over and help me drag in 2 big leather chairs into my office? Let me put that over there. So I've been trying to get better organized in my office. I got some chairs. I'm going to go over here. So back here against this wall, we're going to have a couple of nice chairs sitting here. And then I'll probably do some live streaming like from here is what we're going to do. Yeah, it's my office. It's not... You like it? Well, I appreciate you liking it. Yeah, so far it's so good. I don't know if my dog Lily likes it. You okay? But thank you for liking it. We're still not set up at all. I got a lot of things I need to move around. A lot of things to adjust to get out of here. I got to clean up the corner bookcase and display some things nicely. A lot still going on. Keep up the hard work. Well, I'm trying. I am blessed. I told you what I thought about it. About the office or the girlfriend? So, yeah. I know, Lily's just going to be in the way today. So yeah, we my wife, by the way, is out at a meet and greet with some famous entertainer. So in our town, we have some. He's famous in the Philippines. His name's David something. He's famous in the Philippines and other Asian countries, I guess, but he's an American. So he's back here in the United States doing a tour, and he has a concert planned here tomorrow. And my wife we bought her the VIP ticket. The VIP ticket for the concert tomorrow also includes a dinner and a meet and greet tonight. So her and some of her friends dressed up, and they're going to this meet and greet with this music guy. So there'll be a lot of probably little shorts, videos. Lorelai's going to be popping up here on YouTube and Facebook. because she's excited about doing all of that. So, and I'm happy for her. You know, I've learned over the years that if you're going to treat yourself or go do things, I'm a firm believer, go ahead and spend the money and really enjoy it. Don't, you know, don't do it halfway, because you only get to live once. You only get to live once. So just keep that in mind. I'm trying to get a lot of work done. All right, so. Joe, I missed that. Not bad. Still trying to get your strength back. Good. I got to get more exercise into you. Joe, I'm trying this year. I know we always say this, but I am hoping this year I can try to get some more weight off. It's one of my big goals. You know, the other thing I've been working on, and I talked to some of the other guys about that recently, is we all have, so if you do vlogging or make videos, we always wind up with a lot of equipment, a lot of cables, a lot of things, but we don't want to lose them. So I'm trying to get in a better habit of storing some of my electronic cables. I'm trying to get in the habit of, I got a whole new bag system set up for like these motion cameras that I have that you guys are rotating on now, along with some little metal tripods and things like that. So I've got a bunch of things kind of set up, put in a bag, so when I need them, I know where they're at. Because as part of my goal of being a little bit more organized here, I'm really hoping that when I go outside and I do some vlogging outside, or we take a trip, I can just grab my bag, which will have everything I need in it. But there's still a lot of things I need. I need to get another battery pack and stuff like that. So, but we currently, oh, should have got it. I need a trash bag. Currently, I am literally just trying to get paperwork cleared up. Thank you for saying hello, Danny. Thank you for that. Thank you for saying hello. There's some paperwork. I'm going to write, this is paperwork for my wife. How are you, Danny? Everybody said hello to each other. If you're still in here, just say hi. It's always good to say hello to each other. If you have a YouTube channel, let me know. Maybe I'll check you out in a little bit. So one thing I'm trying to do is part of my new goal is to get rid of a lot of old paperwork. So I'm working on that. I got to make a new dog bed for my dog Lily, who's, I'm working on that. I don't know quite where she wants to lay, but I'm working on that. I'm also trying to work up a little area that I may do some gaming on, right over there behind you. You can't see it. Right now, I got a folder, and because I know I have a lot of paperwork in my work area that belongs to my wife. So I know I got a lot of that going on. So I got a folder out and I put my wife's name on it. Hope y'all are safe and sound. Oh yes, we are. We're safe and sound, Joe. You know, we got a lot coming up, Joe. We got Lorelei's birthday coming up on the 7th. We do, right? Saturday the 7th, I think, is Lorelei's party. We're going to live stream it. We hope everybody will join us for that. And then the other thing we're doing, Joe, which is, you know, you being around YouTube forever, hopefully we're one off. We are starting a new trend in April because one of our subscribers and followers, and you probably know her name, which is Unbothered Avocado, or I call her Miss Avocado, or Jamie's her real name. Pat's in the house. Good to see you, Pat. How are you, my friend? Everybody said hello to Pat. So Jamie is having a baby, and we're going to do a virtual baby shower for her. Right here. We're going to StreamYard it and we're going to have some singing and some partying and maybe a little cake. But she's never had a baby shower, so I'm going to throw her a virtual baby shower with all of y'all's help. Trying to get better. You still feeling a little bit under the weather? I'm sorry to hear that, Pat. Did you guys have any real issues with the storm last night that came through your area? I hope you didn't. We did. We had really high, super high winds here. It basically just kind of rattled everything, blew things around, but we didn't have any bad weather. And I know part of the country is supposed to be getting some snow and stuff, maybe up around you, Pat. But for us, I think we're in the clear. You're in the kitchen? Nice. Tim's in the house. Good evening, Tim. How are you, Tim? Everybody say hello to Tim. Thank you for that. Thank you all for the thumbs up. We got a lot of people hanging out in the background, coming in and out. That was it. Just winds. Joe had just winds too. Yeah, we only have really strong, heavy winds. But what are you going to do? Hello, Brother Tim. Morning, Tim, Joe says. So, Tim, I'm working in my new office. I'm trying to get my new office laid out. Trying to get organized. I got a problem with my hats. I got a lot of hats, and I really don't have a great way to store my hats. So I'm brainstorming some of that. I'm actually looking for a new hat now. So I know you guys are thinking, new hat, you're crazy. I like hats. So, but I got hats everywhere. And I do got a container that holds hats, but I haven't decided how I'm going to rig it and use it. So I'm still working on that. But Tim, we hope your weather is doing good today. Hope your air quality is better. We do indeed. Lorelai is out and about at that meet and greet with the rich people. She got to see the new Maybach. You guys don't know what a Maybach is? Maybach is the luxury brand of Mercedes-Benz. Our friends, we have some friends, and this is crazy, guys. So we have some friends who went out. Well, they have a lot of money. They spent $250,000 on a car. I paid cash for it. $250,000 for a car. That would have paid my house off and it put a bunch of money in my bank account. So, but it's their money. They have the right to do anything they want to do with it. So. Air quality index is fairly good so far today. Nice. That's good. It's what's weird is, not really weird, it's spring here, but yesterday we had weather in the 70s, and then it dropped off really cold during the night, back down in the low 30s, and was only up to 50 today, but with very little wind, so it hasn't been horrible. Hasn't been horrible. What am I doing? There's so much stuff that I need to dig into and shred and get rid of. I just don't know. I got a shredder, a good shredder. I do a lot of shredding. I packed up my cuckoo clock because I rearranged the office. Really don't have a place for the cuckoo clock. So I packed it up today really, really well, securely, so I can keep it and store it. I'm working on my watch boxes here today. So while Lorelai, what she's doing is, what is this guy's name? Hang on. I know it's on Facebook. David Pomerantz. I guess he is famous in the Philippines. He's a musician. It's kind of like not like a streaming guy, like a loud and screaming musician. I guess he plays the piano and sings. I don't know if they're love songs or not, but I guess he sings more stuff like that. But she's at that tonight. She's at the meet and greet, or I guess she will be in a little bit. They all went early so that they could all just spend time taking pictures with each other. You know how that is, right? So she took a day off from work. I never heard of him either. But Lorelai said that she's known of him forever in the Philippines. So I'm like, Tim, the thing I can say is I'm just tickled to death that I didn't get suckered into going. One, I'm not up to it. Don't feel up to going to a concert or a meet and greet. You know, because I kind of have a weird thing about meet and greets. I've done a lot of meet and greets in my life with people as part of my job, right? Because a lot of meetings, a lot of greetings, a lot of lunches. I've met with bigwigs, politicians, Fortune 500 leaders in the duty of my job, right? I don't care. I don't think anybody's, I don't know. I've learned nobody is special. We're just people. So I'm just not that big on going and meeting and greeting a celebrity. I'm just not. It's just not kind of my thing. So David's not suckered into that, luckily. But the girls all like it. You know, one thing we all know about the Philippine community and living with the Filipino, because, you know, I'm doing a bunch of new videos about that. I am special. You are Dennis. Dennis is special. Is my wife special? Oh my God, Dennis. You should have seen it today. Hello from Dennis to everybody. Yeah, Dennis, I might have to pay to meet and greet Dennis, but other than that, I just don't care. Nobody's that important enough for me to get my jollies up to go meet and greet. So, and I guess to be a little bit of a jerk, I can't think of anybody. That's a great question for the audience. Is there anybody, thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way, besides me, that you guys would like to do a meet and greet with? Is there anybody out there that you'd go, man, I'd go see and meet and greet somebody if I could? I just don't know if there's anybody out there that I would care to meet and greet. But anyway, the girls are all dressing up nice and pretty. I got a bunch of pictures of Lorelai and videos. She hooked up with the few other girls. I guess the good thing is this for the girls is, you know how the girls are, right? Living with a Filipina, the lifestyle is they all like to get together and show off. Look, I don't miss any words. This is a way for them to show off, to dress up, have a good time, which is fine. But part of it is showing off. It really is. Hello, Brother Dennis. Good to see you from Pat. If you could have dinner, dead or alive, that you would want. Yeah, exactly. Dead or alive, if you could have dinner with somebody, who would it be? And maybe I'm a jerk. I don't know anybody. There's nobody out there that is dead or alive that I think, I would want dinner with. Now maybe if they were an excellent cook and they were cooking dinner, okay. But I just don't really see that. Tim says, hello to you, Dennis. Hope my dinner is not alive. The Pope? No, I'm not Catholic. Marilyn Monroe? No, why? Just because she was a blonde girl, big boobs? You know, I see that. I've seen that. You know, I've already been there, done that with blonde girls with big boobs. I don't know. I know a lot of people, you know, say, oh, Albert Einstein or this or that, and I just can't think of anybody who I would want to have dinner with. Dennis says, I am throwing out suggestions. Oh, I know, you're doing a good job with throwing out suggestions. I'm just, you know. Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, Tim says, all right. Musk, ooh, now, okay. Elon Musk would be on, if I had a list, he would make the short list. because I think he is so brilliant that just spending some time with him and listening to him to talk, I might learn a tiny bit of, I might understand a tiny bit of what he's talking about, but that tiny bit of stuff that he's talking about might really benefit me. So Elon Musk is a good one for me. Elon Musk would be great. Yeah, so, he's modern and he's smart. So I could see where I might benefit from meeting with Elon Musk. I really do. Man, but I just can't, the other tech people like Gates and all of them, not my thing. I don't see it. A lot of people would say, oh, Mother Teresa. People might say Hitler so they can go back in time and kill him. But you don't know the ripple effect of things. So, yeah, I don't know. Musk would probably be, there's not any actors that, that I'm impressed enough by to waste my time to go to dinner with them. I told my wife she was drawing her eyebrows too high. She looked surprised. Tell her not to draw them on at all. Tell your wife that you don't like drawing on eyebrows. I'm blessed in the fact that my wife doesn't need to wear makeup. A lot of guys, not a lot of us, a lot of guys have wives that are ugly and they need a lot of makeup. I'm lucky that mine doesn't need a lot of makeup. So I can't stand a lot of makeup if you got to draw on your eyebrows and there's something wrong with you. So stand by your decision and say, do better, baby. Maybe if Musk is giving me $10 million to me. Well, now, Tim, and that's kind of the other thing. I'm no longer e-begging for $5 million. But, and all I'm doing is e-begging for a house for my wife. But Elon has enough money, which I don't think he's loose with money. I think he's a tightwad. I don't think he even thinks about money. But that would be my one slim chance to get money out of him, right? That would be kind of where I agree with you. I would agree with you. That might be a probability, a possibility for Elon to cough up some coin for me. But I don't think he thinks about money. I bet you, I don't know how he pays for things. People say that, I don't know. I know he has a lot of kids and some baby mamas. They probably blow his money more than anybody else, right? But I don't get the feeling. And Elon, if we had dinner with Elon, he might even expect us to pay. So here's the question to change that a little bit for Dennis. If we had to pay to have dinner with this person, would we do that? Because I was watching a thing the other day about these social media influencers who charge people to have a little screen time with them. So there's people out there that are, little famous who would charge like $75 for a 30-minute or 15-minute meet and greet where you can do it on camera and get your social media up. So there's people out there that apparently charge you to do that. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a term for it. But you can do it. Yeah, Tim, most millionaires don't carry cash. I would agree with that. And a lot of them are out of touch with the reality of the world. Like, oh, how do I pay? Because they usually have people taking care of things. It's kind of funny, when you talk about even politics who are in that situation. It's called stupid. It is. What is that called, though? There's a business. Because hell, Tim, if I can't, Dennis, if I came semi-famous, I would probably do it. What's it called when you pay? Let me get Lorelai's folder out of my way. There's a term for it. Because we have one here. I don't know, I'll have to work on that. But I guess there's a whole business involved in that. There's a whole great big business. Ken's in the house. It's called Stupid. It's only about 309 minutes late, but I just got home. All right. Good to see you, Ken. How are you? They have a financial babysitter or caretaker? Yes, they do. And look, if I had that type of money, I would too. I would have a personal assistant that took care of things. 30 minutes, need to turn on a light. Yeah, it's getting dark here a little bit. It's getting there. Clouds are coming up here. We may get some more rain. So, but there's a business where you can rent a social media influencer to hang out with you, I guess. I can't remember what it's called though, because I saw a thing, because I think I told you that guy named Big Ed who was on 90 Day Fiance with Rose and got dumped, and she turned out to be gay or queer or something, and he came back and met somebody named Liz, I think, and was on the seasons more and more. Well, he lives over here. So Big Ed from 90 Day Visa lives in my area. And people see him at the liquor store because I guess he drinks a lot, or at least that's what they say. Blue skies in the Philippines. My assistant would have assistant. Dennis, mine too. I would, but my assistant would have to pay for the assistants. But apparently that Big Ed guy lives here, and he charges, I guess, $75 to $150 for a personal appearance. I've learned that, Brother David. Yes. So he lives over here in our area, and but I guess he charges people. Pat says, hello to you, Ken, but I can't remember, man, I wish I knew what that was called. But what are you going to do? I guess I think he's trying to sell real estate. So if he's trying to sell real estate, why don't I just have him show me a house if I wanted to meet the guy, but I don't want to meet the guy. He should want consultation fees, kind of, but there's a social media term that they've come up with recently. It's a fairly new term. You know how this is. It's like an appearance fee, but there's some weird words that kind of go with it, I think. Ken says, hello to you, Pat. Good to see you. So I guess that's what he likes to do, and because I saw him on somebody's podcast, because I guess he's not famous anymore. Nobody will rent him anymore. So he's out there trying to beat the podcast circuit to get popular again. And he said, they asked him how much money did 90 Day Fiance pay, and he said, well, it paid pretty good. But he made most of his money with personal appearances, doing XYZ for $75 to $150, and he would do 10, 15, and 20 of those in a day and make his money that way. Everybody saying hello. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. Military Man is back in the house, I believe. I got shift tomorrow at a.m., but I am not for sure. Well, if you're not for sure, my recommendation is you go to work anyway. Pat says, not doing good, Ken. Waiting Monday to see the doctors and the x-rays of my chest. Yeah, Ken, Pat's been under the weather lately. He thought he had the flu. But there may be something else going on with him, so he needs to get to the doctor. And hey, Pat, I know today is Friday, but if you get really bad, just go to the emergency room. Don't pussyfoot around. Go to the emergency room. Military Man says, I am never sure when I'll be on shift. Train crews tend to vary by hours. All right. So you kind of got to be ready to go at any time, huh? Do they pay you extra for being on call? Or whatever they pay you a little extra for that? Oh, man, I am so sorry, Ken says. Sorry to hear about that. Yes. Pat, get a checkup. Yeah. Get a checkup and go to the emergency room if you need to. I had to go to the emergency room a few months back because I was having such horrible pains in my chest, and I wanted to make an appointment, but to try to get an appointment sometimes can take days or a week, and it got so bad that I finally gave up and went to the ER. And they gave me some nitroglycerin and some other things for my heart, and it seemed to calm down. But you got an appointment on Monday, all right. Well, then just take it easy through the weekend. Military man is a train operator. I don't know. Military man, are you the engineer or are you the conductor? Because I know there's two different people, a conductor and an engineer. You're the conductor. Now, is the engineer the boss or is the conductor the boss? I keep up the paperwork on board the main lines. Okay. Okay, so the engineer is the driver, but you kind of run the show. So you hire the driver, so to speak. All right, I got you. That's good to know. It's kind of like a ship's captain and a first mate, I guess, or first officer. Craig's in the house. Good to see you, Craig. Early today, I said, yeah, trying to mix some things up a little bit, Craig. I'm fishing for to grow. So I try to mix things up. And tonight, it just happened to be that, I'm kind of wound up because Lorelai is off going to see David Pomerantz with some of the girls. So she took the day off because she's going to a big meet and greet. So I've actually been here, doing stuff. Otherwise, I would have been a little bit more low-keyed this afternoon because she's usually at work. But she was home, and then she had to get dressed and get ready, and that was a whole deal. And they're going to go to the meet and greet at David Pomerantz. And Lorelai got to go hang out and check out the new Maybach, which is apparently pretty cool. I don't hire the driver. I drive with whoever is put on with you. Yeah, I understand that part. You don't select the driver, but, most of the time it's the same people on a crew, but I had a different engineer today. All right. So you kind of work in teams and then kind of go from there, huh? Which is good. It's kind of like, pilots in an airplane. A lot of them work with the same crew, but then it kind of gets mixed up here and there. So, yeah. I hope you're making sure that the engineer is not intoxicated when he's driving the train. The train are coming down the tracks. So, yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, Craig, that's what Lorelai's doing. She's doing a Filipino thing. And, they all had to dress up, and they're going to go meet this guy they're doing a concert tomorrow. And like I told you, we bought her the VIP packet, so she could go to the meet and greet and go and sit front row or whatever it is. Maybach, wow, a couple of $100K, $250. Good for you. She'll be super horny when she gets home. Yeah. Yeah, we have some friends, Craig, that bought, it was $250. It's a beautiful, I haven't got to see it personally yet. I will one day. But the girl that owns it, the lady that owns it, her husband's the rich guy, not her. But they went to their house today. She's part of the group that got picked up to go to the meet and greet tonight. And so there's a little short of it. Lorelai didn't do a great short, but there's a short on YouTube of the Maybach. So Lorelai hanging out in the Maybach. But yeah, $250. 250,000 whammies paid for in cash. They would not let anybody drive the train, even if they were 0.01% good. I don't think you can be under the influence of anything to drive heavy equipment is one of my big things. So, yeah, so she got to go see this Maybach, and the Maybach is pretty damn impressive if you study on them. Mercedes has figured out, how to make a super luxury car, which is what the Maybach is. So it's not ours. Don't get me wrong. I'm still e-begging to buy my wife a house. So it's not ours. And at all. But she just happened to be there today and did a little thing of it. So, but one of the good thing is our friend who had the baby, he actually works for her husband doing some bookkeeping, and we're gonna get a good tour of the Maybach. Turn my thing back on if it works. No, so we're gonna get a tour of that Maybach eventually. He said he's already driven it and said it rides like you just couldn't believe. Chair's all messed up. He's enjoying it. He said the technology is unbelievable in it. But it's not ours. Unless I had, super money, I would never spend $250,000 on a car. Unless I, Yeah, 250 for, and here's the funny thing, and they're old and you can't begrudge them. He's earned, let me say this. He's earned the money. The Filipina is just benefiting from his hard work. And he's really old now, and she's in her 60s. So, and he's already left a lot of money to his family, his kids, his businesses. Everything's all taken care of. So, on that coin, you got to look at going, well, all right, well, then you just do whatever the hell you want to do with your money, right? I'm going to move the camera over a little bit and quit moving around so much today. That's what I'm going to try to do. I feel like the camera's leaning. Here we go. So yeah, I totally agree with you. But, and kind of what I think is a little funny is, they probably won't put 1,000, 1,500, maybe the first year because they'll drive a lot because it's cool. But they don't drive their own cars very much. So yes, give me the 252. 250 would buy my house and put money in the bank, because I don't owe 250 on this house. Norfolk Southern 310 just arrived. So I'll probably be on the delivery crew for that one tomorrow. All right, it's connected to you. Wow, all right. So you'll be busy tomorrow earning that money. Now, military man probably has a $250,000 car because he's so busy doing the trainings all the time. So wouldn't surprise me if he has that. Some of us are hard workers, and some of us are me who don't work. But yeah, she did a little short today on it. I wish she would have done a little bit longer short, but that's all right. I told Lorelai she's going to try to get more involved in the channel because I've told her that, she's better looking than I am. My retirement paperwork was approved and submitted to the military pay office. Outstanding, Tim. So, what does that mean? Does that mean you have like 90 days, 30 days before they send you a big fat check? Or are you just waiting and you don't know when it will come? So do they give you a timeline? I guess is my question. Do they give you a timeline? I have 36,000 miles Chevrolet Trail Boss that can barely operate, and a one-story house about the size of an average person's basement, with a side of living in the world's loudest town ever. So what I'm reading here is you have a luxury pickup truck, and you have an outstandingly large one-story home that is environmental friendly, which probably costs even more money. And you're living in a city that is busy and happening. Wow. I make just enough to live, and I have a little bit of fun. Nice. Well, the sad thing is a lot of us are in that boat. that's one thing I'll tell you guys, one thing that is frustrating for me being disabled, when I wasn't on disability, and look, and I knew there was something really bad wrong with me for 2 years before I was forced into retirement from teaching, but I did it anyway, and it probably made things worse. But what I'll say is this: what I don't like, or that is one of the most depressing things about being disabled on disability, is not being able to have the opportunity to make money. Meaning, when I was not disabled, I could do a lot of side hustles. I could teach extra courses. I could go do private consulting work for companies, which I did. So physically, I could get out there, and some years I could make over $100,000 a year, which is a lot of money for a fat old guy like me. It will take up to 60 business days to audit, and then I will get paid the month after regular payday. Okay, so maybe 90 days or so. Congratulations, Ken, says to Tim. So that's one of the most frustrating things, is not to be able, when you see an opportunity to make money, to take advantage of it. $78K a year is pretty good money in my part of the world. You can live very comfortably on $78K where I live. As long as you're not willing to buy a very, very expensive house, you can do it. You can do it. But it's getting more and more expensive where we live. That's partly why I really want to live in southern Alabama, because it's cheaper than here. But it's frustrating. I learned when I was put on disability that I couldn't go out there and do side hustles and make money. Will it be backdated for filing Tim date? That would be a big pay. Yes, Craig, I think Tim is saying it will, because there's going to be a big payback. It is. So Tim's going to be extremely wealthy in the Philippines. He won't have any problems. Here in New York, life is never comfortable with the new law, since NY is poor and about to being able to go to a simple MPH over the speed. Oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't live in the state of New York or New York City, even if I don't know why people live there. I guess, you grow up there, you live there, it's kind of thing. But I wonder, and this is more of a sociology question, but I wonder how many people, it just curious to me, if you took somebody out in New York. Now, I know people grow up in an environment, they like environment, they're conditioned to the environment. But I think it's sad, I guess, when people never ever go anywhere but where they're at, like the 50-mile radius thing. Ask the government of New York. Yes, I grew up in Maine, and I regret coming to New York. There you go. But how many more years do you have until you go to retirement? And I guess, and where I was going to that, I guess a lot of people hate where they're from, like Chicago. I read an article for 2024. There was a decline of 300,000 people in Chicago who, population-wise, the population of Chicago went down by 300,000 people in 24. Something like that. A good 20 years, all right. Well, maybe you can find a different location, like Florida has trains, Oregon has trains. Maybe another train hub would be, better for you. So, but I know a lot of people, I've known a lot of older people that have grew up in Chicago, lived in Chicago, the inner city. And then they leave and go outside of Chicago, and they don't like it, even though it's cheaper, warmer, friendlier. It's just different. Military man says, I'm trying to get to Kentucky to get my dad's gun vault. All right. Kentucky's a nice state, you know. Pat lives fairly close to Kentucky. I've been to Kentucky multiple times. He has most of my New York illegal guns that are only legal in Kentucky in the vault. All right. Well, just make sure nobody in New York brings, knows that you have them, right? Maybe that's the key. Make sure they know that you don't have them. But then again, I heard the other day that, New York is getting even crazier. So what are you going to do? When, who was it? There was somebody that was talking about the fact that, something about dogs. People shouldn't be allowed to own dogs in their houses because they're filthy animals. And then another politician said, well, if it's a decision between dog and people, that's an easy decision. That all came out of New York. Good night, man. I'm going to post some more stuff on my community and going to bed. All right, well, be safe on the rails. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. So, yeah, a lot of garbage coming out of New York. A lot of garbage in general. But then again, the other big thing on the news bouncing around today was, I guess, Barack Obama was outing, and I haven't seen what he said. I do not know what he said word for word. Pat says, take care of yourself. But I guess Barack Obama was telling people that aliens do exist. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard about this. I don't know what he said. I don't. I heard a little bit about when Donald Trump was asked about it, which I found very curious because I watched that part over and over. And Donald Trump's answer left me with, oh, interesting. Because I think Donald was lying. I watch a lot of his stuff, and I think he was hesitating, lying, and thinking when normally he doesn't think when he talks. He's kind of like me. He just runs off at the mouth, right? He just talks. But when they were asking him that question, the only thing he could think of was Obama gave away, top secrets. What do they call it? Classified information. And he shouldn't have done that. Well, if it was fake information, then he wouldn't have a breach of classified information, right? But the way, if you watch Donald, he seemed to be thinking to answer the question. And he doesn't normally think about what he's going to say. Craig says, start of Blue Beam. The start of Blue Beam. Blue Beam. All right. Let me get over here and look at Blue Beam. Let me turn you guys so you can see me a little better. I'm doing something a little different tonight. I'm going to look up Blue Beam. You mean Blue Beam or Blue Book? Blue Book was the old one. Bean. Yeah, Project Blue Book was what they did, in the 60s? Their investigation in the 50s and the 60s with that one guy. Well, it looks like Blue Beam is some kind of software is what's pulling up. It looks like it's, Craig, I don't know. When I Google it, it kind of just comes up being like a software for like project management or streamlining your businesses or projects. Yeah, Hynek, that was his name, right. Hynek. So, but I found it really, and I need to go back and watch PSYOPs false flag scenario to create fear. Yeah, I think we do that. But Craig, I mean, did you see, because I know you're into this, what Obama said? I haven't seen what Obama said. I haven't. But I saw a little bit of Trump on the airplane, and his answer was a little surprising to me. So, if they're doing PSYOPs to give us a false flag, to get us to look over here, what do we, and I know, look, Donald Trump is famous for misdirection. I get that. So what misdirection is Barack Obama throwing out there? What are they trying to get us not to see? What's the diversion? Right now, it doesn't seem anybody, it's kind of weird, Craig, in America, people aren't scared of this scenario between Obama leaking or whatever this alien stuff is and what Trump did. People aren't scared in America. They're excited. That's the weird thing. I think things have shifted. I think our population now is excited about the thought of extraterrestrials in some way, shape, and or form. Where 50 years ago, that wasn't the case. But now, I really believe, because you see it here, people seem more excited about the possibility of it, not fearful of it. Off-world attack diversion from Epstein, maybe, or the fact that we're going to destroy Iran, I think. Well, and he may not have, and that's kind of, well, and Tim, how can you, I guess this is one of those weird questions, the chicken or the egg type thing. How can you be guilty of declassifying classified information if we can't prove or we don't know that it's classified? You know what I mean? And just because, because I looked at this too thinking of, well, I don't know I need to go back, I want to go back and watch what he said. But did he say in this memo that I wrote to this person, or this general sent to me in this memo, blah, 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 like a government record that was since classified? Did he leak that, or did he just talk in general about aliens and about how this happens or that happens? Because I don't think that's leaking classified information if you talk about a subject. If you present documents that have been written and deemed classified, because how can thought, ideology, and speak be classified? Wag the dog, yes, Tim. It worked already. Everyone is confused. We are confused. Shit, Craig. We live in a confused state, and that's where they want us. So yeah, Craig, it's interesting. Is it because we're getting ready to bomb? Are we bombing Iran or Iraq? I can't remember. Iran? Yeah, I think we're going to bomb Iran. Yeah, so he's speaking of his own thoughts. That can't be classified, right? That's where I'm on that. And I don't care who it is. I don't think you can classify or prevent somebody from talking about a subject forever. I just don't think you can. I know court orders, it can say, gag order on court cases while the court is going on. But I don't think he declassified it. But I also don't think Trump knew what he said or what he did. Trump said he didn't know anything about it. Right off the bat, I don't know anything about it. But if he did, then it sounds like, he, declassified or whatever information. My grandfather that was in the World War II said people and the government hide aliens from their ships underground from World War II, WW2. Yeah, I'm convinced now because I had a dream about it that aliens are eating us. That's where all the missing people go. Aliens have to have food here. If you're going Okay, because I love talking about Bigfoot and aliens and weird shit. You know, I really do. I enjoy it because it's all hypothetical. Everybody has a great time with it. So, my point being is this. If we have aliens, if Australia even, because look, it's not just America. Craig, let me ask, you being in Australia, does Australia have a Area 51? Do you guys have something where you guys go, that's the alien base? Extraterrestrials here. So, and I know Obama said something like, oh, the aliens aren't at Area 51, which we all know that. Area 51's like a red herring. You know, maybe in the beginning, and it's a bait and switch. You know, it's like, look over here because we're actually doing the work over here. But we want to keep all you nut jobs looking at Area 51, and we're not doing shit in Area 51. Reptilians on China, Russia's side. American has the Anomuskie, so they control the info. I don't know. I'm going to Google that word, Craig. So I guess the real question is, oh, the ancient Sumerians and so forth. Okay, I remember. Now I know this word, Craig. Described as deities. All right, so so I guess the big question for me, looking at this, is: are we taking sides? Do we, like Craig was just mentioning, China and Russia have the reptilians, the lizard people are hanging out with them. So do lizard people not hang out with us? Are they not part of us? Do they not like us? Do they hate us? Or are they just, you know, better suited in the cold, which doesn't make any sense? China and Russia is very cold. Why would reptilians be there? You would think they would be in Australia and Africa and places like that. We have Pine Gap in Central Australia with 1,500 CIA agents here in combination with our forces. Holy crap and butt farts. Damn, Craig, that's pretty impressive. Still watching, but working on a project for Jamie. Very nice, very good. Jamie's a good person. Remember, we're going to be doing that baby shower live stream for her April the 3rd, which is a Friday, about 7 o'clock on StreamYard, so you guys can all come up. She's going to come and sing, I guess. So maybe Dennis will come and bring some arm candy and show them off. I don't know what Dennis is doing. But we're going to be doing that for Jamie. So we're going to try to raise some money for Jamie, and we'll try to do that. You know, I know she can use it, so we're going to try to do that for her. But why would so did they take sides with one? And how would an alien race decide who to be friends with and who to hate and who to kill and who to eat? You know what I mean? I think that's all interesting. Or are they here trying to keep the peace, or are they here stirring shit, or are they just here watching us? And if we've captured some, here's my point about this. I had a dream about this the other day. If we have some in captivity and some in the wild, for lack of better terminology, what are they eating? Are they eating the same thing as us, or do they like to eat humans? And that's where all the people in the Northwest go missing and get eaten. That's why their bodies are never found, because they're getting eaten by the extraterrestrials. To control the geocentric high orbit satellites for instant communications, covers 65% of the world's surface. Wow. It is 6:34 p.m. here, Tim. 6:34 p.m. where I am at. And there's been more, I've been watching more stuff on the moon landing and all of this. And I've been trying to watch, Craig, I didn't get to watch the movie Dish yet because I can't find it online. I mean, I found it, but I can't watch it online yet. I haven't found a place where I can go and watch it. But that's kind of my question. So it's interesting. So right now in America, it's very excited for people talking about aliens because of what Obama said and then what Trump said. And I think for the first time ever, I thought Donald Trump looked like a deer caught in the headlights. Like, oh shit, I got my hand caught in the cookie jar. You know, they're talking about something I don't want to talk about, something I'm not supposed to talk about, something I shouldn't talk about. But I always answer questions. I don't blow it off. So I got to come up with an answer. Okay, let me think, what kind of answer do I want to give? Oh, the only thing I can think of is he gave away government secrets. You know what I mean? So Pat says, I hear that the aliens are cloning human people and are talking about those things. Is that what they did to Joe Biden? I know there's a lot of people out there now pushing the old body double for Joe Biden, but since he's out of office, it really doesn't matter. I know there was, now this is getting in a different direction, about the Epstein files. And I thought this was interesting coming out from that. I saw a thing where apparently Epstein in emails talked about, I think they call it the devil's flower, that you can make, it's an anesthesia, whatever you want to call it, a drug that puts you to sleep like a roofie. And apparently he was very aware of this and used this on his island maybe. And this is how maybe some of what they did with the women folk, the girl folk, the children folk, was put it in an aerosol form, knock them out like a roofie. So there's a lot of that going on. Now a lot of talk about that. I think if aliens are able to travel here, what makes you think that they would not gotten out of our primitive confinement? Well, and that's the other thing, Tim. I would agree with that. How are we holding these aliens? Now, look, if I get the fact that they crashed their ship and maybe they landed and they cut their legs off, their appendages, and they can't do what they can do, we can, throw them in a prison and keep them, but I agree with you. Who knows what's real? Does a claim from the Legacy program leak and the zero gravity program that took over from there, Stargate programs that was shut down and renamed in the 60s? Yeah, we don't know what's real, but I do like, it's kind of like when you hear, it's even now coming out, and this is a little different, but kind of the same thing, about how Michael Jackson really wasn't a child predator, but he was actually trying to protect, and he did, Macaulay Culkin and some other children from going to the Epstein Island, because Michael knew what happens on the Epstein Islands. So there's some evidence now coming out all these years later that maybe Michael wasn't the pervert everybody says he was, but instead he was guarding the children from Epstein and his cronies or whatever. So that's kind of interesting too. What pops out, it's kind of like that real skinny little singer girl who a while back was being interviewed about something, and she said she didn't remember because they drugged her and wiped her memory out. And now that it comes out exposing that this Epstein guy knew about the double flower, used the double flower, and one of the things it does, it takes your short-term memory away, so. Are they all crazy? Are we the crazy ones? Who's the crazy ones in the country? Me, you, them, us. My wife totally believes that a lot of the actors and people like that sold their souls to become famous in the movie industry or musicians. All right, I've heard this. Craig says, some say the reptilians are the original inhabitants here so that they didn't travel. The Anunnaki came to fight them, and it's been going on for 12,000 years. Wow. Craig, so in that scenario, the Anunnaki would be the bad people. They would be the invaders, right? And are we descendants of the Anunnaki? So, yeah, that's interesting. I could see, because I actually believe that there is a lot, the human tree, the human genome tree is not a simple tree. It's a gigantic bush. They're finding out more and more all the time that the Human Genome Project, the tree, is a gigantic tree with a whole shitload of branches. Some of them didn't get very far and some did. Everyone on earth is crazy. Some are just worse than others. I like that, Tim. Well, if that's the case, Tim, then none of us could get disability for being crazy. I do agree. On a serious note, I do believe, I don't know what percentage, but I do think we all have mental health issues to one degree to the other. And I think that's part of the misinformation, the distraction, the manipulation of us humans. I think, especially in first world countries, we get put into situations where we develop mental health issues. I really do. I think it's intentional. It's like if you can distract us by giving us or putting us into mental health issues, then we're not looking in on you because we're not at full capacity. But I don't know. I think we're all a little crazy, a little odd, and Tim is right. Some are worse than others. I think, because I do believe that some people have like what you call an evil gene, whether it's just the fact that their brain doesn't, produce empathy for people, and without empathy, you have no feelings. So I think the human, and where I was going with this is, I want to study the giant theory. Because I'm starting to read a little bit more about prehistoric giants or giants in our time. And I do, and Lorelai's sold on the fact that there is giants long before us, right? She's absolutely 1,000% there. I'm a little bit more iffy on the giant thing. But short attention span theater, yes. And they're programming us, Tim. Tim, do you know this? Right here on YouTube. YouTube, I can't talk bad or they'll kick me off YouTube, but I've heard that there's a social media platform that is trying harder to reduce our attention span. They're blaming it on us, but I believe they're manipulating us to have a short attention span. But they say, oh, it's because you have it, is why we're doing this. I think they're doing this and decrete the short attention span on us, because there's an organized methodology between the governments, the real leaders of the world, to get us into this situation. So, but anyway, I do think I believe the human body can take many shapes and forms. It can have a lot of deformities. It can be abnormal in many ways. I don't think the human body is as cut and dry and as simple as you think it is, or we're told it is. So, subliminal messages, yes, I remember those. Remember back in the day when they had to have all the Coke cans black and white so it wouldn't be a Coke, and now then they started slipping in, a Coke can, making you think, oh, that looks good. Or somebody would be hot and sweaty, in a thing, and they'd go get a drink. By the way, this live stream can be brought to your product. All you have to do is reach out to me on my YouTube channel, and I will be happy to sponsor your product. So, I do think that. I believe that there could have been large humans, without question. Large humanoids, because I think the human tree is a gigantic bush, not a tree. So I like that theory. I like that. I like that. So, oh, I thought that was my wife. Thought I was going to be in trouble. The other thing, so that's one thing I'm working on, or just studying lightly. I'm not working on. I do have a project that I'm working on, and I want everybody's help. If you're not too scared, you got to be brave to do this. You really got to be brave to do this. You don't have to put your name with it. But here's what I want to do, because I've been a little frustrated last year with some things, to be honest. I've been a little frustrated, a little irritated. And I've gotten on this thing where I want to know and study about what we're calling Americanization of Filipinos and or Westernization of Filipinos. So I've actually studied their definitions in detail. I really have. I've spent some time. Craig says, only need to manipulate a small amount of DNA and you create a different... I agree. Absolutely. Just a smidgen. And I mean E. What I want to do is I want to know what people think is a... Let me read my question. I sent it to a few of you guys. I was going to send it to everybody, but I haven't got around to it. So here's my question for everybody. And I want the same thing from Filipinas that are brave enough to answer it and men that are brave enough. Question, in regards to Filipinas, how would you be able to tell if they are Westernized? What is the first thing that comes to mind in regards to them being Westernized? So I'm asking men this, and I want to know their answer. What's the first thing that comes to your head that goes, oh, that behavior, that look, that whatever tells me that this girl is Westernized? And I want to collect those. And then I want to ask, and this is going to be a little trickier because a lot of the girls are going to get really pissed at me, but I want to ask the Filipinas the same question. Same very question. In regards to Filipinas, especially the ones that live in the United States, of course, how would you be able to tell if a Filipina is Westernized? And I'm going to try to get my wife involved in this, but she's not going to be happy about it because I tell her I think she's too Westernized. So she's going to take it as a personal attack, that I'm attacking her, and I'm not, but it's driven me down this road to where I want to understand this phenomenon, because that's what I think it is. And so I would like for any Filipina who's living in a first world country, who's exposed to this environment, if they were willing to, let me know the first thing that comes to mind when they look at a Filipina and go, she's Westernized. Or when they talk to one, or their behavior, whatever it is. I want to know the leading indicators to Westernization of Filipinas. That'll probably get me yelled at a lot, but that's what I'm working on. All right, Tim, I'm gonna write that down. I'm not using anybody's names, so I'll just copy and paste. I'm just gonna copy because I got a document already set up. And I know I'm going to do something with this, a little video project. I have it set up in PowerPoint format, which is not what I'm going to do, but that's just kind of what I'm used to. So I already got a bunch of stuff set up, ready to go to work on I'm going to have to shorten it, but. Craig says they changed the way they deal with money. Save every cent still in the Philippines for the first 5 years, then changes. And the support of the family declines, getting sick of... Yes, I've heard this one too, Craig. put you here. Great. Thank you, Craig. Yeah, I think I've heard that from a few people about one of the big indicators is when they get kind of pissed at sending money to the Philippines. Is one of the big indicators when they're kind of like, no more. Miss Avocado, the Avocado Beauty Pageant runner-upper winner. She's not a runner-upper, she's the winner. The grand champion of the Miss Avocado pageant is in the house. Everybody's at hello to the Unbothered Avocado and or Miss Avocado. Jamie's in the house. So, hello, Jamie. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, gotta pump you up, girl. Gonna lift you up. So I am working on a pretty serious project, but I'm gonna narrow it down. But I figured if I was gonna get input from men, I wanted to get input from Filipinas too. When they look at this, what triggers in their mind? Hello, Jamie from Craig, the man down under. Hiya, Tim, Pat, Dave, everybody. Hiya, Craig. Jamie, how are you feeling today? How's the baby going? My wife is not working today. She took today off. But her and her girly friends are going to do a fancy meet and greet with some guy, musician guy, that his name is David Pomerantz. He's apparently famous in the Philippines, but nobody knows him in America. But he's here in America doing a concert. So they're going to the concert tomorrow, and then they're doing a big fancy meet and greet dinner with him tonight. I don't know how much money he's making, but you know, we bought the VIP ticket for Lorelai. So she's all dressed up. There's probably stuff on the Facebook page already of them girls wearing their fancy clothes and dancing and looking goofy. So I'm home alone tonight. Me and my dog Lily. Lily's asleep. So I'm making her a better bed. I'm redoing this office, my work area. And I realized that I got to figure out to make her a really good place. So we hope you're doing well tonight. But I am just really curious because there's been some behavior last year that I really didn't like seeing from certain Filipinos. And there's a lot of behavior from men I don't like. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the husbands that I run into, I find disgusting. I find them to be giant pieces of shit. So I'm not picking on Filipinos. Yes, Craig. We've gone through this one too. I think mine is about 50-50 on that. She's still transitioning in that one. I'm going to copy and paste your answer. Maybe you can ask your wife what your wife thinks. So, because I'm trying to grow our channel. I'm trying to get enough money to buy my wife a house and all of that. So I'm working hard on our channel. It's hard to grow, but I'm working hard on it. And I'm starting a new thing called, basically Living with a Filipina, where we're doing some more videos about lifestyle and things of that nature, along with a bunch of other things we always do, travel and everything else. But I'm doing a new thing about living with a Filipina, and I'm trying to update my best advice as a husband down the road. Someone donated cherry limeade soda to us, but we don't drink that, so we gave it to the whole case. He gave her the whole case. Nice. That's nice of you, Jamie. We probably wouldn't drink it either, cherry limeade. Not really my thing. But it's nice of you to pass on. Yeah, well, it's just going in a Word document, and then I'm going to rewrite it, repurpose it, and then try to do maybe a little bit of stuff. So it's I'll pare it down to maybe a 5-minute video or less is my goal. But I'm trying to figure out how to become better at YouTube and put out information that people actually care about. It's sparkling water. Okay, I got you. Okay, kind of like at Sam's Club, Walmart or something you get in a bottle. Yeah, I used to drink that too, but here's what I know. If you want to lose weight, don't drink carbonated drinks. That's why this is 70 calories, and it's probably not good for me, but there's no carbonation in it whatsoever. So I've really got to the point, and I believe it helps, not to drink carbonated water or sodas or anything, because it expands your stomach, right? And you can eat more. So I try to stay away from anything carbonated, even though I love a Coke or a Pepsi. Oh my God, you just send me into, it's like giving me a damn drug, which it is a drug. So I really enjoy that. But in order to lose weight, I am trying not to overextend, and so my stomach doesn't get used to being that big. Woohoo! Domino's! So happy tonight. I like Domino's pizza. I'll say, I know that it's stupid to like Domino's pizza, but I like Domino's pizza. Yeah, sweet and sour. Yeah, I'm not a big sweet and sour fan, and it does kind of sound like that. Maybe it balances out. Maybe it's like an acid and a base, and it neutralizes at 7. Yeah. Tim, I'm not a big fan of that stuff either. But I'm trying to really hard not to consume carbonated beverages of any kind. I will say carbonated beverages are fantastic for marinating steak and chicken and pork. If you don't know this little trick, if you have like carbonated water, now if you got Sprite, the sugar helps, but if you don't, you can just use carbonated water. If you soak meat into carbonated water, the carbonation bubbles get up into the meat fibers and pushes out the meat fiber. It rearranges the meat fibers. So when you cook it, it's way more tender because the meat fibers have already been beaten up, so to speak. Tim likes Papa John's. I like Papa John's sauce. I don't like their ham, but I like their sauce really well. I don't drink any soda right now, only water, caffeine-free tea, and milk for the baby. That's right, you have a baby coming. You need to do that. And Ken says, I will keep this thing going. However, Indiana and Purdue have a basketball game at 8. All right, well, enjoy the basketball game, Ken. Sweet Dennis. Dennis, wow, the AB is gracing us again. Gracing Pack, it's all of us. She's not here just for me, Dennis. She's here for all of us. She is blessing all of us with her precious time, not just me. But thank you for recognizing that, Dennis. Howdy, Ken. So just be aware of that about carbonation. Ken says, check your email, Jamie. Pack channel. It is. I know. But do you think if you and Tim and Craig and Pat and Ken and Jamie, well, Jamie, we're talking about Jamie. If all of you outstanding, wonderful people wouldn't be here, Jamie would come and hang out. No, she's coming for all of you guys. My live streams are all about you guys, not necessarily me. Without you, there would be no live stream. There you go. That's how you do it, Dennis. Right? That's how you lead. So yeah, I'm working on that. Everyone is my friend. See? Dennis, she even calls you a friend, Dennis. But, yeah, I like everybody. I miss having trolls. I gotta admit, I kind of miss having, I haven't had any real trolls in a long time. I kind of miss that. I kind of miss some of the drunk people on YouTube, like, Jack and Michael and a few other people. I don't see the drunks very much anymore, which is a good thing, but I kind of think, wow, I wonder if they died of alcohol poisoning like my brother did. So I'll check an email right now. Feeding the Crankosaurus. That's funny. No, it's what, you bribed her? Yes, you did. You got to bribe people to watch your live stream? Is that what you're saying, Ken? Or to watch the Indiana game? Yes, you bribed her to be your friend. I know. It's all right, Ken. We don't mind. We don't mind. We don't mind you bribing people. Look, I'll take a bribe any day. Let me throw this out there. I have no shame. If you want to bribe me, I'm here. My wallet is skinny and it needs to be fat. Bring the bribes on. You know, that's where I'm at. I have no shame. You know, look, I'm working on my watch collection. See? I'm trying to get my office redone. So I'm working on my watch collection. I got to clean up my cases and figure out where I'm going to store them. So if there's a watch manufacturer like Omega would like to sponsor my show, come on, baby. So if you guys don't know, Omegas are quite pricey. I would sell it, to be honest. Watching it? Woohoo! That's right, Craig. I'm watching it. I'm even wearing a watch. I'm trying to get back in the habit of wearing. This is a Timex. Timex, if you'd like to sponsor me, I'm here. I can suck up to anybody. So I don't mind people bribing people, Ken. Tina Marie says hello. Coming in to say a quick hello to everybody in the chat. Tina Marie is still in Vietnam. What are you having for breakfast in Vietnam today, Tina? That's what I want to know. What are you guys gonna have that's Vietnamese food in Vietnam? Thank you for the thumbs up. We need it. We need it. We need it. We need all the thumbs up and views. Remember, do me a favor. If you ever got nothing to do, turn on my playlist called Shorts and let it run, because I'm trying to get to 1 million views this year since I can't. You know, the funny thing is I've had over 16,000 people subscribe to my channel, but I only got like 4,200 subscribers. So since I can't get my numbers up and keep them up, I'm trying to get to 1 million views. So instead of trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, which I wish I had, I've now turned my attention to trying to get to 1 million views. So if everybody would watch that short playlist, which has a couple hundred shorts, see what I mean? Rolex, you know, Tim, Tina says soup. Okay, but for breakfast, soup? It's kind of like eating rice for breakfast, right? I love soup, but not for breakfast. A few Rolexes wouldn't hurt. I'm not a Rolex fan, to be honest. But Rolex, maybe you could convince me with your gift to believe into your product. But right now, I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer. True believer. Pat says, hello, Tina Marie. Tina, Pat is not feeling very well today. He needs to go to the doctor. He's going to go on Monday. He's not been doing very well for the last week. So we're going to keep an eye on Pat. Loaded with fresh greens, noodles, and spicy pork. Woohoo. Craig says, yes, it's breakfast. Yes, yes. I love soup. I'm a big soup fan. Love soup. I don't know if I can do it in the mornings. Tim says, hello to you, Tina Marie. How much longer are you guys going to be in Vietnam? Where do you go? Are you going to the Philippines after Vietnam? So yeah, I don't know how else to grow my channel. I really don't. I don't know. Sometimes my shorts go bonkers and sometimes they sit there and go nowhere. Sometimes some of the videos I keep making product videos and other videos just because I think someday maybe YouTube will like me. So I don't know how else to get my wife a house. I'm trying to buy my wife a house. And I know some of you guys have caught on to what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to buy my wife a house. But if I can't have 16,000 subscribers because of whatever I've done wrong, then if I can get to the views, at least maybe that's cool. Hello, Craig and Tim and Pat and everybody. I don't know what my wife is having. She's having dinner with this fancy Filipino singer called David Pomerantz, which apparently is an American who is popular in the Philippines. I never heard of him. Nobody I've ever asked has ever heard of him except for the Filipinos. 8 more days here, Philippines for 2 months. All right. There you go. So I'm sure Lorelai's eating, they're having Filipino food and hanging out with David Pomerantz, whoever the hell that is. So, Soul Linder's in the house. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Don't forget that thumbs up. What's going on in your part of the world, young man? How's your foot? I could use your I need to move some stuff into my office, and I need strong, healthy people that can do it for me. But your foot is injured, so you can't come and help. Work 2/3% of your subs for views. Work on 2/3% of your subs for views. Give an addiction of what worked above and below that number. Gives you an indication of what works. Yes. Yeah, and Craig, I would agree with you, but I understand. I guess where I'm at, it doesn't appear that a whole lot works. So, and I don't know, it's hard because I have some videos that are still gaining every day. But I can do one very similar to it, and it goes nowhere. Go to other live streams and sub to the viewers. Well, they will sub back to you. No, that doesn't really work, Tina Marie. And I'll tell you why. Roll it off your sofa. Uh-oh. I know a streamer named David who was here in the U.S. and then went to the Philippines. He's popular over there because of karaoke. Yeah, all right. Ozzy's in the house. You guys all say hi to Ozzy. Well, that's not me. I don't like karaoke. I can't get into that. And that's part of it is. So, Tina Marie, let me address your thing. Sub to subs doesn't work. YouTube's smarter than that. So, like I said, we've had 16,000 people subscribe to my channel. We got about 4,200 on the books. That's because YouTube will take all of those fake subs away. If people truly aren't visiting your stuff, it's worthless. So going to other live streams, which I do go to live streams, but I don't go there to promote myself because I know it's not going to work. Now, you might, in a chat, get to know somebody who will then come over, and a lot of people do this. A lot of people go to live streams to raid their live streams so that they can get people to come to their live streams. And I've had it happen to me numerous times, and it's just the way it is. People will come here to promote their own channel and their own live streams, hoping all of these people will go watch them. I don't really do that. I go to live streams just to be me, but I don't do that sub to sub thing. I don't think it works. Ozzy is in the house. I have almost 3,000 subs, but only 60 videos. I'm in the process of getting monetized. Outstanding. Tina Marie, but you are a girl, for one. You are a girl. And I know I harp on this, but girls get monetized and their channels grow way faster than a guy. If I would put Lorelai on this all the time, which she doesn't have time because she works, our channel would be totally different if Lorelai was driving the bus instead of me. There's just no question about it. It would be way different, way bigger, and way more productive than if it was me. Did you get my email about my contract? No. No, I did not get an email from you. I checked my junk file and everything, and I didn't see it, so do it again. Remember, you have the email address. But no, I did not. I even looked in the spam and junk folders or whatever you call them, and I didn't see it there. But if you'll send it again tonight, I will look again tonight. And remember, there's an underscore line between Hartman and 72756. Ozzy's in the house. Everybody said, "Oh, Ozzy, comment not showing up again." I know. Why do they do that with you, Craig? Is it because you're in Australia, I wonder? You know what I mean, Craig? Hello, Soul Lender. Good to see you. Pat says, Craig, then if you Then if you're in it for views, only left change then. Okay? 80% of my subscribers are female. That's because you're doing the singing stuff. And singing stuff works because, and I'm not trying to be mean or cruel, but every girl thinks they can sing. And they like the girl channels, they like the singing channels. Because everybody thinks that they can be on American Idol and be the next superstar. And everybody's hoping to get discovered. So a lot of the singing girls will go to the other singing channels in hopes of growing their channels back and forth. Because it's all of the karaoke and singing community is what it is. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. There's my email address. Fishing with Pac dropped my email address. He's a fine, outstanding young man. Yep, I typed out a comment and it disappeared. Ozzy happened to Ozzy too, really? That now, wow. Yes, Tim says, I've seen ladies get monetized in less than 2 weeks. I agree. Gotta go. Take care, everybody. See you, Tina Marie. Enjoy your breakfast and your day in the land of Vietnam. Miss Avocado says, wow, Maya, Tita, see you, Tita. Take care, Tita Marie. If I had internet at home and proper setup, I'd probably do more with my channel. Exactly. But in general, females do better just because they're girls. And if you're not ugly, that helps. If you are ugly, maybe that helps. But singing channels, karaoke channels, there's so many, and I know this because, you know, I used to be a really smart guy. I did. I used to be smart. Now I'm just Brain Damage Dave. Like, maybe that's my channel name, Brain Damage Dave. But I know enough to know what works and what doesn't, kind of. But I also know a lot of these channels will top out and they die off. So it's hard to sustain a singing channel forever and ever and ever. It's hard to, you make a big impression right away, you grow an audience, but to maintain that and to grow it is a lot harder than we think. Tim says, take care, Tina Marie, good to see you. Thank you for being here. So it's kind of like, I'm going to give an example. I know of a channel, a young lady who's not ugly. I don't think she's good looking, but she's not ugly, but she does have a nice looking body. She has a decent voice. Personality is okay. So they do a channel and they grow and they grow and they do well, and there comes a tipping point when they get to an audience number, a subscriber number. So maybe they get 5,000 people following them, subscribing to them because they're a pretty girl and they're interested in that. But those memberships that numbers are gonna get stagnated at some point, 5,000, 7,000, 10,000. You're gonna plateau out unless you keep doing more and more and more different things to attract a different audience. And sadly, for a lot of girls, and I've seen this on YouTube over the years, a lot of these girls come on strong and a lot of men will chase them, right? Or a lot of these singing channels, they'll be chased. But they plateau and they die because there's nothing to carry it on. All right, let me check. No, I don't even have my iPad. Jamie says, I'm not doing karaoke on mine if I ever go live. If you want to check, send you an email. Hello, Miss Avocado. Hiya, Soul Linder. Hiya, Pat and Greg. I think the average views 4190 subs would be between 82 and 125 on the average. So Craig, you're saying 82 to 125 views on 5,000, 4,100 subscribers. Mine is probably higher than that a day. Mine's probably 200 to 300 views a day with 4,100. I think, unless you're looking at mine, I don't know what mine is. I haven't looked at mine, Tim says, but I would think mine's close to that or maybe a little bit better. Hi, Yisel. So, because what happens with human psychology and human people per video upload? Okay, per video upload. Wow, I wish mine was like that. I don't have that. There's some videos that get that and other videos get nothing, just as we all know. But a lot of the channels, because there's nowhere for you to go, you run out of an audience. When the guys realize that this girl, when the guys who joined on Fast and Furious realize that she's not going to take her clothes off, that she's not going to be perverted, well, they leave. They go away. So the views go down. Her subscriber numbers are still here, but the views go tanking. Because when all the people realize, well, there's no boobs to look at, the girl's just doing the same damn thing day after day after day, they go chasing somewhere else, is what happens. Same thing with karaoke channels. Once you realize how it is, it gets to a point, if you can't sing anymore, you know, it plateaus. Okay, I'll let you know. Craig says, change format is only option if you seek growth. I agree. I agree. YouTube is very, very selective in promoting videos. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's, for us small people, it's a gamble, you know, it's a crapshoot. And a lot of people give up because they're like, look, YouTube doesn't promote my stuff, I give up. I'm the one, I keep trying to put videos out there in hopes someday maybe YouTube will go, hey, this is great, and send it out to everybody. But every channel is going to plateau at some place or another. And if you don't, like Craig says, if you don't change what you're doing, your view numbers will go down. You may have 100,000 subscribers, but your views start going down because everybody's seen it, been it, there, and done that. Karaoke channels, girl channels, my channel, the same thing. You got to try to figure out how to stimulate and get more content, things that people want to see. And you may have things that people want to see or would watch if YouTube would be kind enough to work as hard promoting my stuff as hard as I try to do it. So I'm not really hung up anymore on subscriber count, which I know the math. The more subscribers, the more views, right? In theory. But a lot of subscribers come on, subscribe to your channel. That's why I don't do the sub for sub thing. They come on, they watch one video, and then they go away. That's really not helping your channel at all, I don't believe. You get a view out of it, so what? But it's not getting any serious longevity. You got to build a community, is one thing I try to hard on to do, is try to build a community that people will watch over and over and over and over again. Even if I think, and I may be wrong totally, but my theory is, I think if you're consistent, even if you only got 10 people that watch your stuff, period, but you got 10 people that watch it and you're consistent, I think that's a win. I do. Because you've affected 10 people. You've gotten 10 people involved into your world. So I think that's it may not be a mathematical or a money win, but I think it's a moral win and a victory to have people do that. Did it with Lana's channel, lost? Yeah. But 3 years later, the triple subs and income, 1 hour a week instead of 60 plus hours. Okay. So you lost 500,000 views, 1,000 subs, but 3 years later, tripled the subs and income, and 1 hour a week instead of 60 hours plus. Well, that's good. So what do you think changed? Craig, did you change your formatting? Did you change your direction? Or did you just not put as much effort into it? Because one thing I try to do, and I don't do it very well, but I do try to throw out videos. I do. And there's a couple of reasons I do certain things that I do. Lorelei sent me a picture of the singer. All right, well, I'm on the phone, Lorelei, so I can't see it. But you're with the, Lorelei says she is with the singer right now, the performer for tomorrow's concert. But tell him to keep his grubby little hands to himself. Did you get his autograph? How many people are at the meet? Lorelei's at a meet and greet with a celebrity. So I'm home alone with my poor dog Lily, who's asleep on the rug. And Lorelei is at a big fancy black carpet, red carpet, I don't know, event. Yeah, see, yeah, and cat channels are great. Look, Craig, no question. If we ever got a new dog, a new puppy, I would create a channel for a new puppy. I would. I would definitely, you know, absolutely. Puppies and kitty cats work great. I'm just telling you. Everybody say hello to Lorelei. I have a video talking to him, and he asked me my name. Woo! Did he recognize the name Lorelei as being a siren of the sea that leads people to their death in the German folktale? So Lorelei is at a red carpet event. How many people are there, Lorelei? You got a lot of people there? How's the food at that restaurant? Is it any good? I know it's expensive, but is it any good? So everybody say hello to Lorelei, if you will. She's out having a good time while her poor husband is home. So yeah, animal things are good. You can do some good stuff with that, Craig. So you want to drop her channel and the link, Craig? You're welcome to do it. So so that's you know, I recognize, since I don't tear anything up, I don't go around being an ass on the internet, picking fights, calling people names, making fun of people, chasing people down, doing stupid experiments. I recognize that I don't fit into that genre that people want to go watch. I'm not a First Amendment auditor. I'm not a prank channel. We're not. We're just a couple's everyday channel. So the niche we are in is a very small niche to begin with, because not everybody in the world cares about the Philippines. But there's a large majority of people that think it's funny to watch people do shit to other people. There is Craig, the link to his kitty cat channel. So, but yeah, Craig, agreed. If Lorelei and I ever bought another wiener dog, I would start day one making videos and posting them. I don't know exactly how I would do it, you know, whether, but yeah, stop the content, stop the live streaming, stop 15-minute spots, do some of the same, but turn it into the cat channel. Yeah, little videos about the doggy, the kitty cat doing funny, silly stuff. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. I like it. I mean, I agree, Craig. I agree. Let me pull, oh, I'm thinking of it. Let me pull your channel up. There's the kitty cat. So, Craig, do you mainly do shorts now? I'll give it a thumbs up, Craig, on the last video. Hello, my friend, little kitties. So if you guys haven't subscribed to Craig's channel, please do. Craig, I wasn't subscribed to her channel, so now we are. I gotta close some of these windows out. So you got 2 new subscribers. Tim and me both. Outstanding. See, I wasn't a subscriber. I thought I was. I've seen the channel. Yeah, that, yep, for the shorts. And on Facebook too, yes, 1 video a month, yeah. Absolutely, Craig, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I would too, and I've done a bunch of little shorts of Lily and Daisy when they were live, and some of them hit and some of them don't. And I don't know how to make them hit and how to make them don't. One thing I found was I was using the YouTube Shorts app, and in the beginning, man, they were getting a lot of traction. But the last 3 or 4 shorts I did with the YouTube app, you know, their editor app, creator app, tanked. So today I went back and did it without that, and there they go again. They started going way up again. Thanks, guys. Greg's always, yes, Tim says, Greg, you're welcome always. So, because, you know, we make a little bit of money, but yes, what I like for our channel to be a Mr. Beast channel, I don't know if I could handle a channel that big, but enough to buy a house would be nice. Titles and music help, yes. I always try to title mine. My problem is trying to figure out what is a good title. What is a title that's going to provoke? And we put music. A lot of times I will mute our voices and just put music and maybe a few words, you know, or let it, or you do that and you do the voiceover. So, but I've done the app that YouTube sent us. And in the beginning, they were really sending out those that they helped me create. But the last 3, I think, of those have pretty much flopped. Tim is saying, great, yeah, titles and music helps. Yeah, and I need to do that better. I need to use Chat, GTB, whatever it's called, GPT, to check titles more. I do. I need to do better with that. YouTube on the page, they give you that option too. They give you the ability. They have some AI software that YouTube will. You click on it and it gives you a bunch of titles off to the side. And I've used some of those. Yeah, fascinating and incredible are always good. Along with, I think, I don't know, but simple titles, I would think short, simple titles, maybe ones that are mysterious, that, you know, might be good. Okay, I'm going to get my iPad real quick, and I'm going to show you the picture of Lorelei. Hang on. Let me see if I can find this picture. It is, Craig. I think you're right. It's more narrow and safe. You know, I don't totally agree with you there. Now, if she texted to me on my phone number, I don't have it. Woo! So this is Facebook. How can I show you guys this? All right, you guys want to see? Here, I'm going to have to move my tripod and camera. So don't get mad at me because I'm shaking you to death. Let me see if I can get over here, guys. Try to share the computer screen with you. Maybe I can just, hang on. Maybe I'll just get rid of that for now. I'll put you guys on a different tripod. All right. So this is where my wife is at. That's not my wife. That's the dude. Man, he looks older than me. Some guy named David Pomerantz. Not a lot of people there. That's my wife. I can see her phone right there. That's my wife. But he looks like a nice guy. Oh, I like these. These are cool. Yeah, he kind of looks like Tim Allen, doesn't he? Shit. Is that all of them? I thought she sent some more. Oh, here it is. No, that's not her. I don't want to show you the makeup girl. I don't care for the makeup girl. I thought she said she sent some to me of her with the guy. Maybe she text messaged me. I don't know. It's all right. All right, well, there you go. David Pomerantz. A Korean soap opera? Maybe, yeah. I would have thought there had been a lot more pictures. And these girls, well, there's one there, there's one there. Not any of my wife, so there you go. Whatever. Where's my iPad? Well, I don't know. Craig and everybody, Tim, I know we all try to grow our channels. I truly just don't know if there's a whole lot we can do. You know, I know Craig has found the kitty cat thing, which is always cute and good, and you can make that happen. That's a good thing. Soul Linder, if you're in the house, yes, I got your email. I've got it this time. Let me. Soul Linder, yes, I got your email. Thank you for sending me an email. Oh, I need to do that. Apparently he lost access to Facebook. There's my number. All right. I will save it. Maybe you need to start a new email. Or a new Facebook, or whatever you want to call it. Why did you, if I can ask, because I'm always curious, how and why did you lose control of your Facebook account? I saw, I know, I watch some, I know you, back on the YouTube subject, I know YouTube is kind of like cleaning house in a way. I know of, there's other channels that were pretty big, you know, that YouTube has taken away for whatever reason. And I'm not for sure what's going on, but I know if you watch any of the First Amendment auditor stuff, some of those people have been deleted. Well, Craig, that kind of, so it says be sure to contact the contact gave you after. I will. I'll send you a text message. I need to pay my Sam's credit card real quick while we're thinking of money. While I'm thinking of not having any money, let me pay our last grocery bill at Sam's Club. I charge it on my Sam's card, and then I get the cash back and pay it before at the end of the month. So, but I forgot, so I need to pay it. Hang on, let me do that. Thank you. So I just paid that. All right. Thinking about not having any money. So yeah, Craig, I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, I do my channel just to make friends. And it is great. I want to say a couple things. I know everybody, there is a lot of people that think I'm greedy. But a lot of what do you call it? Shit. eBay and I do is in jest, right? Now, granted, if Elon wanted to show up and give me 5 million, I'm not going to bitch with him about it. Woo-hoo. But I do it because, one, I feel like sometimes I'm teaching again, which maybe I'm not a good teacher, but I do feel like I'm making headway connecting with people. So, I forgot what I'm doing. So I think it's kind of a good thing for me psychologically. It helps psychologically. But I also know that there's a whole lot of people doing the same shit that I do, the same topics. But what I believe, Craig, and I don't know if this will prove out in everybody, is what I do believe is I just keep trying to do my best. I figure Changes on Hers was done for time reason mainly, yes. Got sick of the trolls and the drama, yes. Trying to get Bruce to sleep, gave him pizza and a brownie. Woohoo! I like Domino's brownies. They're good brownies. Brownies, here he paid me with a big giant poo. Well, I have no empathy for you, Jamie. No empathy for you and your poo. But yeah, I mean, I like doing what I'm doing, to be honest, or otherwise, to be honest, I wouldn't do this if I didn't like it. I didn't get a kick out of it. We all do our YouTube stuff because we get a payout, whether it's money or ego boosting or whatever. I do like the fact that sometimes I get to help people. I know I'm a big asshole. I know that. I'm not a nice guy. But there are times behind the scenes, a lot of people don't know, that I counsel, I do a lot of life coaching behind the scenes for free. And I do get a kick out of being able to help people behind the scenes, so to speak. You know, we also have been blessed to raise money for the Philippines and help with that. We do a lot more behind the scenes, but you know what I mean. Jamie likes that you get to have poo-poo all yourself. Here's a funny thing about baby poo-poo. You want to hear a funny thing about baby poo-poo? That's a great thing you do? Well, I don't know, Jamie. I don't know. I mean, I will say this. Yeah, I don't want anything to be, I mean, I want $5 million, don't get me wrong. But I truly don't really want or need anything from anybody out here in the internet land. I really don't. I've been given some things, and I appreciate James and Galactic Gaming sent me a watch because he's in the watch business, right? And James Robinson, who our very first subscriber, has been very generous. And in return, I've tried to be very generous with him. So, but I don't expect or want really anything from anybody. And I've always given my service. Now, when I was a private consultant, I charged companies an extreme amount of money to have me come to their companies and deal with them. But I was always happy to teach individuals. So, And I'm not truly worried about it coming back because we are blessed, and I know this. I don't want to live where I'm living. I don't like it here. But I have a nice house that we paid for. It's not paid for, but that we bought. We have car. We're not into debt. We have food. We have plenty of clothing. Trust me. My wife keeps wanting to buy me clothes, and I keep telling her, no, no, no. But it's a justification for her to buy clothes. So we're good. We truly don't need anything. Except for that beach house down in Florida, by the way. But in that, we don't need anything. So everything returns in one way, shape, or form or another. And I tell people all the time, and this is not to slam anybody or to be mean to anybody, but if you're not getting a reward out of whatever it is you're doing, then you're not going to do it. If you get no reward from raising children or being around kids, you're not going to be around kids. If you don't get a reward from driving, you're not going to drive. If there's not a benefit, we don't do it. Craig says, Tim, I don't even know who my first subscriber was. We do. James Robinson, very first subscriber. All those years ago, 5 years ago, he was our very first subscriber. And today, him and I are buddies. You know, I've told James that once we get to Alabama and live, I hope he would consider, because he's retired, he doesn't have any family, that maybe he should leave California and he can live cheaper in Alabama. And, you know, I've invited him to come live in Alabama. When we get there, no reason to come here, it's too expensive. But he lives on his own. He could live in Alabama fairly cheap. But we know him, we got to know him really well. I FaceTime him on a regular basis. So we ship stuff back and forth. Now, do I know who number 2 was? No. But what I will say is this. I've seen so many people come and go. I've seen, only in my 5 years of being on YouTube, because I never really got on it before, I've seen so many YouTube channels come and go, come and go, come and go, come and go. It's hard to stick around. And what I've done, even if I never grow, since I don't have a job and I'm a deadbeat person, my goal is not to give up on YouTube. Unless I hit the lottery, then you people will never see me again. But until I hit the lottery, my goal is to keep working YouTube, to keep doing this. Because I do get a kick out of it when I help somebody behind the scenes. I'll be back in a few. If you are still on, can't get him to sleep with the phone on. Oh, all right. All right. Well, just tell him, hey, go to sleep. That's what babies do. Rationalize with them. Use your superior intellect and tell them, go to bed. This is what babies do. What is that? It looked like an alien outside my window. Somebody has one of those green glowing sticks around them as they're jogging through the neighborhood. That's crazy. That's pretty good. A quarter a day? That's not bad. I don't know what I'm up to. Tim, I think we're $1 a day. No, we're more than $1 a day. We're probably $1.10 a day. So it does pay the internet bill, except for the internet bill went up. I did make enough money to pay my internet bill, but now my internet bill went up. So there you go. It doesn't even pay that anymore. But like I said but we have been blessed in other ways with doing YouTube. And that's what I look at as a couple of things. One, we've gotten a lot of free products. I've had a lot of companies see me on the internet and say, hey, would you like, and you keep it, I'll send, what the hell is that alien green light thing doing? Why are they just going back and forth like this? Maybe they're spying on me. They're going, why is that guy in that office on his computer? But we've gotten a lot of products that people have asked me to review. Pat, you have helped me a great, oh, well, thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. See, I mean, that's good. I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm happy to help anybody the best I can. I mean, I've helped people with their visas. I helped Tony way back in the day when he had to go to the Philippines and get I can't remember, the K9 or whatever it was for husbands. And I have yet to get paid from YT. We get paid. We get paid about every 45 days. We get a check every 45 days. About every 45 to 50 days, we get a $100 check. Or a little, therefore, depending. But we've had a lot of companies reach out and say, and that's why I laugh about marketing. But I did a video about how bad my walking canes were. And I had a company reach out to me and say, look, we saw your video, we would like to send you our best heavy duty cane and you tell us what you think of it. And they also sent a cane for Lorelei that lights up and is real pretty. She doesn't need it, but they sent us that. And now I could have done the affiliate marketing, I think, where I could link them to my channel. And if you bought a cane, I get 10%. But their cane has not, it's solid oak. It's badass. So I have it. I got a really good cane. A company said, I want you just to try it out and see what you think of it. Beat it up, use it, custom it to your weight, not whatever. There you go. And let us know what you think. And after a few months, I wrote them back with some pictures and videos and talked to them and said, man, it's badass. And I went on their channel and did a review for them on their website. I reviewed their product and said, yeah, it's good stuff. So I got a free $89 cane out of it. And that's happened a lot over the years. We've had a lot of companies. I had one company pay me $500 because they watched a video of mine about nano socks. I don't have any in here. Nano socks are compression socks, and I really like them. I bought them. I bought compression socks for myself. I put them on, I used them, and went, wow, these are really good. And this was early on in our YouTubing days. We didn't know what we were doing. So I made a video about these nano socks, right? And the company saw it. Well, they wanted to use part of the video of mine in their marketing and advertising. So they paid us $500 to use our parts of our videos. All right, there you go. Tim says, I will never make enough money to cover my expenses yeah, we won't either. I don't think unless we get really lucky and somehow I get onto something like maybe my new thing about living with a Filipina. I'm trying to find a new angle, living with a Filipina. Unless, I agree, unless we get really lucky, we won't make it. The money we've spent to do YouTube is crazy. The travel, the cameras, the equipment. It's what I tell everybody. I was telling Pat, because he's going to try to do his, right? Don't go buy all of this crazy ass equipment. You don't need a gimbal for $200. You don't need all of this fancy equipment. All you need is a stinking phone these days, and that's it. And we've had some other companies reach out to us with products, and I've turned down products. I've had companies reach out and say, hey, we would like for you to review our product, and would you do a video on your YouTube channel about it? And I've looked at their product and said, no, I will not. I had a company reach out to me a couple of times, a couple of companies, that wanted me to do shock collars, for dogs. They wanted to give me their shock collars to use on my dogs. One, I'm not putting a shock collar on my dog. I'm not doing it. So that didn't work. You see what I mean? And we've had a lot of companies. We've all had Filipina.com.love or whatever those dating websites are. We've had all of them say, hey, would you want to be affiliated with us and market us? I don't do those either, but they've all reached out to me. Hey, Filipino Cupid or whatever they're called, wanting to do partnerships. Haven't done it. Don't want to do it. I'm not a good salesperson, and I'm not worried about selling. Now on YouTube, I don't know if your all's channels do this, but ours has a thing where you can link products. It's part of the, I don't remember what they call it, but some kind of like affiliation with these companies. And so like if I'm doing a video about Brisk Lipton iced tea, There's a thing now down at the bottom of my description box that, what does it say? Products, where you can tag products, and if people buy it through your channels, I don't know the details. I know I'm signed up. I went through that whole thing and signed up, but somehow I get a kickback if you click on this on my channel, and I haven't had to do anything. Somehow YouTube will give me a kickback. I'm sure YouTube gets money from them, and then they give me a little bit of money that they get. So it's like the other day when I was talking about those little cans of tuna. I did that. I clicked on it for the first time and went, oh, well, this is interesting. I found the product, and I clicked on it, and it tags it into your video. And you can even, if you're doing a video about this, if I bring it up at the 5-minute and 3-second mark, if I show you a can of this at 5-second and 3 mark, you can actually, I can place that ad, that little link to this product right when I bring this up. Take it down and it will go away. Or I can just let it do whatever it wants to do. Tim says, I spend about 8K pesos per month on videos, not including, yeah. You know, I mean, I just bought 2 of these. These are 35 bucks each. You know, did I need them? No. But David is a sucker for gadget. And remember this, you know, this is the thing that follows you around, a little camera. You put your phone, I bought 2 of these, and they work pretty good. I'm not super happy with them, but they do okay, you know. For what they are, they just will move your camera anywhere you go. So that was 60 bucks. That I didn't need to spend, but I did. Increase your skills in tech knowledge, so it's all good. It is. And you know, my problem is, and that's partly why I bought those, my problem is, you know, I used to, what was weird is, back in my teaching days, I taught lab all the time. So I was demonstrating how to use equipment on a regular basis to my class. But it's harder in YouTube because of the camera angles and how you got to do things. When I'm teaching a class, you know, I can pick things up and move things, but on YouTube, you got to keep it in the camera frame. And that's why I bought that chest harness, to put my camera right here, so that right here in my chest, so that I could work in front of it and try to do that. My skills and tech, yeah, and so my tech knowledge is the problem. I'm not very good. And I do have probably a bad ideology about this. I kind of want to, and this is where I may be missing the boat. I don't want to do videos that are polished. I want to do videos that come across like I'm a real person and I'm just showing you how this works, or I bought this, or what this is. I want to do those type of videos. I don't want to make them so polished that you think it's a commercial. That's it. YT has changed. So many have teams on channels now. Yes. Move from what it was. I agree. Yeah, it is, Craig. You got to be more dynamic with people. You got to have more people. And that's one thing for me, that, you know, I really wish Lorelai would do more. And I've told her, and she's trying. But you got to work together as a team. You got to have somebody choreographing or filming. And you got to have kind of like an actor. Or you got to have you two together in some way, set it up where you can banter off of each other. You got to have more of that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Craig. I don't know. I don't know if we do good or not. I know my channel's not very big. What's weird is we don't make any money, real money. Our channel's not super big by any stretch. We don't get tons of views. But I do get a lot of compliments about things. And I get a lot of comments, I think, and I answer every comment. But even behind the scenes, I get messages from people all the time. So am I being successful earning money? No. Am I being successful by touching a few people? Yes. Doing good, you're surviving, it's not easy. Yeah, well, and that's kind of the thing, Craig. A lot of people give up on YouTube in general. I mean, I haven't figured out how to get in. I have TikTok and I've loaded videos there. But one, I'm not an expert in TikTok, so I don't know exactly how it works. Two, they say on TikTok, you need to load every day, every day, every day, every day. I don't have anything to say on TikTok every day. What would I do every day? I don't do it every day on YouTube. I do every few days live streaming. And I don't even know if you can live stream on TikTok. I don't even know that. But if I had a new puppy, I would do them on TikTok and YouTube both, right? Cross it. If we had a brand new little puppy and every day, every cute little thing the damn thing did, it would be good. But we're not making any money. We've gotten some free products. But I like the fact that I am not financially successful, but I am successful in the fact, one, I've learned a lot. I've learned more than I could ever imagine. Two, I think I've taught other people something. Maybe less is better in some cases. I would agree. I do think I've tried to shorten videos, Craig. I've tried to get videos shorter. In the beginning, I didn't know any better. I had rambling on long videos. But it's like I got videos. I had one come out. Did I have one come out tonight? Didn't I have a premiere tonight? Shit, I didn't even show up for my premiere. Didn't I have a premiere tonight? Did I have a video come out tonight? February the 20th. Huh. It was scheduled for February the 20th, 7 p.m. What time is it? Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. Why didn't that go off? But I've reworked some videos with my new Living with a Filipina series. But I've cut them way down. I'm trying to get them around 5 minutes or less. Dennis! Yeah, I guess I didn't show it, but it doesn't look like it was even out there, Dennis. Well, it's public. So did it air, Dennis? Did I totally blank and forget I had something going on? Did anybody watch it? Because apparently I didn't watch it. Oh, we had one person watch it. Oh, here, let me throw it on Facebook so our Facebook people know that a video came out tonight. That's pretty shitty of me, man. Dennis, I should be reprimanded. Whoever's in charge of this channel should fire me, Dennis. Man. I do have a new AI thing in my videos of Lorelei that I think is pretty cool. That's new technology for me. But I guess I didn't show up. Man, I'm a pretty shitty person. Let me get it out on Facebook and tell everybody something went out. So, because I'm trying this, The other thing I want to do, and I don't know how to do it, I have a page, a group on YouTube called a Support Group for Filipino Relations International. Maybe I need to change the title. But I'd like to be able to get a page up and running where people ask each other questions and talk about the Philippines and being married, like some of those other bigger pages. But apparently I don't know how to get that going. I'd like to start one of those. I have one, but it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. But maybe I don't know how to set it up right or market it. So I'd like to have it be more of a debate, question and answer type thing. Business vessel is always related to making money. It is in the mind of the individual. I would agree. Craig says, Lorelai will be home soon. Watch out. Yes, she will be home soon. She will be. It'll be a couple hours, I think. All right. Wow. I better give myself a thumbs up on my video coming out. Living with a Filipina, pancakes. All right. I forgot. No wonder. No wonder I'm a failure. We're trying, you know, and but I look at is it related to breast size? Pancakes? No, it's not. It's related to food that you eat. You know, Lorelai wanted pancakes. So we made a little video about pancakes. But she's in it. It has an SEO score, which I don't truly understand. I have 70. So, but right now it only has 1 view. Now it has 2. But, you know, I try to have a little humor with it, but it's pancakes. She wanted pancakes, so we go, you know, do pancakes. But it's titled under, you know, Living with Filipina because, you know, thought I would do some videos about real life, so to speak. I'm watching my video. Man, I'm fast. If you watch that video, don't be shocked at how fast I am for a fat guy. Because I am one super fast person. I mean, you'll be shocked to see me in that kitchen. Woo-wee! I did order, by the way, thinking of breast size. I did order me some new tropical shirts. I got a whole closet full, but I've been longing, wishing to have some new tropical shirts for the year, for the summer. So they should be coming in any day now, over the next week or two, because I ordered them from Temu, from China. So a couple of new tropical shirts coming in. And then the other thing I'm going to make a video about, Craig, down the road here is nice weather day is we bought some windshield cleaner off of the internet. It's supposed to strip all the wax and gunk off of your windshield inside and out easily. So it has an applicator. You put it on the windshield, you scrub it in, rub it in, and then you hose it off, and it's supposed to get all of that filmy stuff off of your windshields. And I noticed the last time I was in Dallas with Lorelai's car, her windshield is kind of yucky. So I bought it thinking I'm going to clean her windshield really well so that I can see better. Or can piggy bank of smart girl, etc. titles worth a try? Worth a try if Lorelai does the talking about the topics. Agreed. Or can piggy bank of smart girl, etc. titles. Yeah, but my problem is Craig, Lorelai doesn't feel confident, or she's too tired. She doesn't have the time because she has a job, whichever may be, or confidence, and doing a whole video. She, you know, but she was doing live streams late at night when she'd get off work once in a while, and those worked really well. She had good luck with her live streams by herself at night. I'd be in bed, she'd come home and do an hour live stream or so when she got home at midnight. Those worked out. So she does good at it, but, you know, I don't think she, you know, it's her forte. I don't know. But it's good maple syrup. I hope it doesn't expire because you know how my wife wants to throw everything away that expires. You know, we gotta. I'm like, well, then quit buying stuff. If we can't eat it and it's gonna sit in the cabinet, then don't do it because we're just gonna wind up throwing it away because you think it's expired. I will eat expired food, you know. But I don't know if they do or not. But I'm going to tell you that maple syrup that we bought in the picture there is really good. I've been putting it on cornbread. I made some new cornbread, and I put it in cornbread. Woo! It was some good eating. Okay, do it with AI female voice. Ooh, and program some of them and work. So you do like an AI female voice over me or over the whole video type of thing? Like, because I do have software where I can type a text in and it will spit it out in a female voice. So I could do that. I got a video that I'm working on now about a humidifier that I didn't speak in. There's no, I just did the video. I'm making the video, the machine together. So maybe I could come up with a text and AI it into a female voice. Right. Just somebody random female voice, a sexy female voice, and I can work up some dialogue. Maybe whatever. The chat stuff could help me come up with a dialogue about my humidifier. And I could just do a little bit of a dialogue along this humidifier. Because all I do is take it out of the box, put it together, and show you how it works. You got a bottle of Canadian. Well, it shouldn't go bad, to be honest. As long as it's not contaminated and have bacteria in it growing mold, I think you're good. Yeah, I don't think it goes bad. I think if it was bad, you would see that it discolored or turned or crystallized. If it went bad, I think you would see that. But if it looks normal, I don't think it's bad. And yeah, I was going after, to be honest, I'm going after that audience of people that may want to have a Filipina, you know, and I'm recycling topics that I've already have, re-editing them, working them down, and putting them in a new video about living with a Filipina, like stinky fish. I did a video about stinky fish a while back. I just reworked it, put it in living with a Filipina, stinky fish. That comes out in a few days. Yeah, well, that's true. Prompt procedure, yes. Definitely a little bit more familiar with that. So, yeah, now I got three watches on it. Yay! So, and the other thing I tell people, one thing I try to do is do evergreen videos. You know, I try not to date things, meaning I don't, you know, like, hey, this is January the 1st, 2011, or, you know, when we started, Lorelei and I liked doing movie reviews, but I quickly realized nobody cares about those after the movie's over for a week. After a week's time, nobody cares. After the movie's gone, nobody cares. So you got to do videos without constraints, what I just call evergreen videos, where like food videos, kitchen gadgets. I got a couple of videos that are kitchen gadgets that get watched over and over, and they're 4 or 5 years over. I got the one where we're eating pork lechon in the Philippines. It's been viewed, I don't know, 50, 60, 70,000 times. And it's pretty old, but it still gets views every day. So I try to do what they call evergreen videos. Yeah, Tim, yeah, if it crystallizes, heat it up and then to go back to sugar, yeah, liquid sugar. That's a key. Once ones that continue to get 40 to 50 views a day keep you in the game. That's it. And I have those. I got one or two that gets anywhere from 50 to a couple hundred a day, I guess. Pat's back in the house. So I do have some of those that help. It keeps my watch hours up. But then again, the live streams help. The shorts are helps, you know. So yeah, you're right. I mean, and YouTube does have this new thing where they help you try to figure out what you should do. I don't know if they charge you for that or not. I think they do because they got it all kind of masked out. So, see, the surgery ones I do. I have a couple of surgery ones that they get views every day. You know, where they cut open my ankle, they do that every day. My food chopper gets done every day. Yeah. So I got one that's a must watch, the Exo food chopper thing. It gets about 500 a month. My shoe videos get about, 200 a month. Laundry detergent, 200, you know. Do they really help? Good for what's it about? Limits your reach. Yeah, I don't know if they help or not. I don't know. But I'll tell you what I think is funny is this month alone, I am up 42 subscribers, right? I'm up 42 this month. Let me get this. So that sounds good, right? Hey, you're up 42. But I've gained 42 additional subscribers. I have lost 24. So I would have been, what, at 66. But instead, I got 42 because I lost 24 in the same time period. It just drives you crazy. Or at least it drives me crazy. And that's why I try not to focus on the subs. That's why I'm trying to get to 1 million views because I think it's cool. We're almost at 800,000 views. So I need a lot more to get to 1 million views this year. So I'm a little bit off from 800,000 views. So for a lifetime. I've gotten, 200 of those have been in the last year, the last 365 days. So that tells me if I keep doing what I'm doing, I should be able to get to 1 million views, which to me is a victory. Now, yeah, 800,000 views, not subscribers or money, but views. So I got 200 last year. All of my numbers are good. They keep going up. You know, not great, but they are. So if I can get 200 this year, then I'll hit the million views mark, and that's my goal. Dogs channels for dogs to watch, Filipino street foods, going back to the Philippines, videos like that. And what's funny is YouTube does recommend to people, hey, here's what you should title your stuff, here's what you should do. I know somebody who has about 6,000 subscribers. He's a really good guy. He actually does what YouTube says to do. And so they might recommend a video on going back to the Philippines, right? So he'll do a video titled, it's like, won't go anywhere. But YouTube right here is saying, hey, this is what you should make a video about. Because I'm looking at it. But if I make a video and title this, it's going to sit there and go nowhere. But this is what YouTube says I should do. So you can't really believe YouTube. You just can't do it. But pet channels, I mean, without question, pets is it. You can do a lot with a pet channel. So yes. And what do they call it? Commission rates are blooming with 15% for Sephora, 15% Macy's, 8% at Samsung is your rollback. Looks like Lorelai has gotten some comments on her short that she did today. Looking at the car. Tim's channel has 4,200. Wow, all right. 400,000. That's not bad though. All right, Craig, we appreciate you. Yeah, it's about time for me to wind this down too. So, see, Lorelai's getting some love on the short she did about the car she was in. But Craig, we appreciate you, my friend. I'll have to go through here and respond. Because one thing I try really hard to do is reply to every comment I ever get. Even if the comments are nasty and bad, I reply to them. I just think that's important to do, to build your base. But anyway, why don't we, I've been on here quite a while tonight. Why don't we wind this down? And let me say, I appreciate all of you coming in tonight. Maybe Lorelai and Lorelai's going to the concert tomorrow. So I don't know what we're going to do, but she's going to a concert tomorrow. Maybe Sunday we'll do a live stream and I'll have her talk to you about her big event today and her big event tomorrow, which she went to. So maybe Sunday evening, afternoon, we'll do a live stream with Lorelai and she can talk about all the cool stuff she did this weekend. So, but we appreciate everybody. Take care. If you need us, let us know. We're happy to be here. Take care.